Hey friends, while Andrea does the courageous thing and does the shopping, the groceries with a mask on, it's the only way here in Portugal. I get to stand outside and have a quick chat with you to say that tonight I'm going to do round 3 with Russian Vids, all going to plan. It is between him and I pretty informal, obviously, and ad hoc, and when the energy right. And we crossed wires the other day in terms of time, and I wasn't available when he was, etc., etc. So we're going to go again tonight, and hopefully it is useful. I've got some of my thoughts I want to share on electromagnetism and how everything is sort of interconnected and how important it is, as I've been saying for a while, to revisit the chessboard that we were given, because the chessboard we were given was played on a ball, and it all needs to be reviewed. And I think there's a lot of people who still have work to do on the reviewing of things. You know, the easy example being those people who still, after realizing that the moon landings and the shape of the earth and everything about who and what we are, the nature of the financial system, all these things, people realize that, and yet they still go to vote. People realize that, and yet they still cling to the indoctrination that they were given in Sunday school or Saturday school or Friday school, depending on the religion, I guess. Anyway, that's tonight, and yeah, and other things. You know, I feel like it's a weird conjunction coming up, and there's some strange energies about, and I know there's all of these strange things happening, but incredible things happening. Did you see the full moon last night? We saw the full moon this morning, or last night, and it was already apparently 12 hours old, but it looked much less than a full moon, much less than a 12-year-old full moon, 12-hour-old full moon. Tracked a dude wearing a mask, and I get looked at a lot, and I don't know now. This is really what I'm bringing to my point. I don't know now. Like, I'm driving here towards this town. It's a half-hour drive. I see 5 cars on the way. And one of the drivers of those cars, and I'm not exaggerating when I say 5 cars, one of the drivers of those cars looks at me and points, you know, like shakes his head or goes like this or whatever, you know. And I think it has to do with the number plates. I don't think it has to do with the size of the truck. It is a slightly bigger truck than the average truck here, it's fair to say, but and you know, the roads are quite narrow here, so I could understand why some locals might go, that's a big car to be bringing on our roads. But I think it has to do with the number plate, perhaps not wearing the mask, I don't know. But I do sometimes feel like, I feel like I'm an alien. Yeah, so I have to bear that in mind, in my considerations. Actually, just walking around here, you very much get the sense, I suppose I'd be interested to know in your region, area, whatever, how it feels, because you know, I know that different areas are being given different pressure points or different levels of involvement or interference. So it's not universal, although I note that South Africa all of a sudden has to put, you know, it's talking about putting Cape Town under measures. Now Cape Town's about to enter a glorious summer, or it's in its glorious summer, a great holiday destination for people, and they'll obviously be using we don't want people coming in on holiday, do we? We're going to have to lock you down unless you clean. So can't see myself in the, so I hope you can, not that it matters. Yeah, so I'm interested, because I think here in public you're meant to wear them now almost like without exception. You know, if you're even in a public space like this. So I walk around the car park and I get looks from people that are not appreciative. They're more like, you're out of order here. You know, what are you doing? And I don't think it's because I look less Portuguese. I think it's because I'm not wearing the mask of shame. Anyway, Yeah, so how's it for you? Because this is getting worse. I should add, we think of course that this is all designed to bring people back home, to put people in low vibration, perhaps. Certainly that seems to be the possible, when you look around, that certainly seems the way, you know. I think this car park, for example, 50 cars in it or whatever, and would have been a buzz of sort of people chattering and locals kind of interacting, I'm sure. Once upon a time. Now it's a quiet and somber place. So is the supermarket. I was reminiscing the other day about the last time Alexander and I were just playing freely in a supermarket, you know, just him being able to run around a bit and check out fruit and all of that. So why they're doing it, don't know for sure, but well, we know they're doing it, and we know that it's being done to cause a certain vibratory, we feel like it's being done to cause a certain vibratory effect within the human collective. You know, nature just carries on steaming on. There is no climate change. Just carries on steaming on, does her thing, and yet we are, all of us, reviewing and perceiving nature in a completely different way, and our own nature in a completely different way. So unnatural, and it's potentially unnerving in terms of where it's going to go. But I think that we have to be optimistic and say, hey, why don't we say that there is something wonderful happening above. It's all connected, this electromagnetic torus, and maybe there's something good happening below. I don't want to be discriminatory, but there's something useful going on, and for the very reason that it's useful to our collective human consciousness story, they are hurting us. They are squeezing us, constricting us. However, we could use that constriction to our advantage, because it might be the case that if we are still now at this time, super still, super in ourselves, super like not yabbering on the phone about business or about material stuff, but we're living in ourselves, we're centering, we're doing that kind of quiet stuff, prayer or meditation, inward stuff, yeah. And this is, I think, where one of the tricks of all the religions come, is that they're still outward things. Oh, that dude out there, Donald Trump, he's going to come and save me. Well, no, you're going to save you. You're going to save you, and you will do that by going within, and you know, then that will be your journey, you know. And if your journey is a good journey, then you pass that good journey to your children and your children's children. Yeah, I think that's how a virus spreads, a good virus or a bad virus, little by little. People have to want it. People have to live it. They can't expect that the host or whatever it is that, you know, is going to give it. You know, we have to embody it. Yeah. Anyway, I'll leave it there, and hope to see you on Russian Vids later. I think it'll be after 7 or 8 o'clock UK time, possibly even later. The thing is like, because I wake up, honestly, I was awake before 4 this morning. I was up just after 4, and getting a fire going, because that bus is frigid at the moment. So by 8 o'clock at night, I'm absolutely pooped and ready for bed. And of course, RV over in California or wherever, they got well, it's obviously they're 8 or some hours behind. So yeah, us lining up our schedules is a little tricky. I wonder what he just said to me, Ebola. I don't think he meant Ebola. He probably meant like, where's your mask, slave? Anyway, guy came past me on a bicycle with his mask on, and then said something at me, which it wasn't like, hey, nice to see you, Dave. Anyway, see you later.